In the summer of 2024, Spotify CEO Daniel Elk made a post on Twitter X saying, "The cost to create content is close to zero." This prompted many musicians to express frustration for A, referring to music as content, basically equivocating a meticulously crafted piece of art to a lipstick review video, and B, claiming that it costs nearly nothing to do so. Of course, many musicians went online to voice their outrage, but it made me think, is it actually possible to create a piece of music for $0 and release it on Spotify without spending a single penny in distribution fees? It's an interesting question and a difficult undertaking to say the least, which is how I embarked on my journey to create a song for $0.
That's awesome!
Now, before we begin, we have to set up some ground rules. Number one being, I can't spend any money on the production or recording of this song. That means I can't use any of my previously purchased studio gear because that costed money. I can't record on any instruments I own because those costed money. And I can't even perform or record anything on this song because I've had many years of training and practice in performance, music theory, and studio recording, and you guessed it, that costs money. So I can't use any of this amazing studio gear that I have. And before you say that, you may be thinking, well, why don't you just download some free audio software like Audacity? But I would respond by saying, you soggy fool, that requires a computer, and computers cost money that we don't have for this challenge. So what if I use somebody else's computer? Well, that brings me to the second rule of this challenge. No calling in favors or borrowing studio equipment from somebody else, including computers. The reason for this rule is that if I could just borrow studio equipment, then what's stopping me from going and calling in all kinds of favors around town? I could call up some songwriter friends, have an engineer buddy donate some studio time, or maybe even have some performers record as a favor for me. All of this would require other people's time and resources, and although it may not technically cost me any money, it feels like it's outside of the spirit of the challenge. So the rules are, no money, no favors. I must only use free resources to make this song. Which now begs the question, how do I even record the song? My first thought was that my parents had an old tape recorder at their house. Maybe I could use that to record the song, but the mic was blown out, and then I'd have to get the tape digitized, which might also cost money, and it just seemed like a huge hassle. But then I was informed that the local library actually rents out laptops, and as long as you have a library card, which is free for residents, then you can rent out a laptop. This was perfect for the challenge, so I got a library card, booked a little study room to record the song, and then rented a laptop for my recording session. But now we have a problem, because I can't record anything. But if I can't record anything, then who's going to make my $0 opus? Well, I may not be able to record because I've taken music lessons, but my kids haven't. So due to this technicality, we have our performers. So we booked the room, went to the library, got the rental laptop, and this is what happened. So we're in the library. Right now, and this rental laptop has no speakers. Kids, can you be quiet for a moment? So this laptop has no speakers. I can't access the microphone settings. Yeah, so I don't think it's possible to make a piece of music for free. Even to sign up for Audio Tools, which is a free DAW online, I have to hear a sound and tell what animal or object is making that sound just to sign up for an account, which I can't do because there's no speakers on this thing. So, yeah, this may be a flop.
A few moments later.
So I just checked with the front desk to see if they had any microphones or headphones, but those cost $2 to rent, so it looks like we're not going to record anything here today. So the library was a bust. This felt like a disappointing end to the challenge because if I can't record on a library computer, then how else am I going to record the song? I considered contacting my old high school, and they actually did offer some of their resources and a Zoom recorder and various other things to be able to make it happen. It just felt too much like it was breaking the rules. But somebody from my high school did inform me that there is another public library nearby that has a creator space, an entire studio that you could rent out for free if you have a library card. So I booked the Creator Space studio, brought in the family, and we recorded our $0 masterpiece. So without further ado, here's a song that was made for $0. Well, what did you expect? We spent $0 on this, so we weren't about to get Stairway to Heaven. As you can see, it's a little silly to say creating music costs nearly $0, because although we did technically create a song that costs $0, does it have any real value? Well, that's a question we'll have to answer later, because we gotta get this bad boy on Spotify. Now, I have a subscription to DistroKid, but again, that costs money, so I can't use that. But I did find a free distributor online called Jumpster.io. This isn't a sponsored video, and I haven't actually looked into the terms of service for Jumpster, but based off of a first impression, it seems like it'll get the job done. So there we go, we did it. We made a song for Spotify for $0. Or did we? Well, it turns out there's actually some hidden costs throughout. First off, the library isn't technically free, it's paid by tax dollars, and I pay my tax dollars. Then there's also transportation. The library was 6.5 miles away, and I wasn't about to cart my kids 6.5 miles to record the song. So there are transportation costs too. Gas ain't cheap. And also, kids aren't free either. They require sustenance, attention, hospital delivery fees, and finally, the most precious resource of all, time. A lot of time was spent making this project, and something, time is money, you get the idea. So in the end, we did create a song for $0, but did we create something with actual value? This is something interesting to grapple with in the music and art world. What is something's cost versus what is its value? For this song in particular, it probably sounds like unlistenable garbage to most people who listen to it, so it probably has very little value to them. But to me, this song is a testament to the challenge of making a song for $0. It was also an adorable time with my family and a cool proof of concept piece. And to me, that gives it a really, really high value. The value of a piece of art is much higher than the cost that we usually spend for it, whether it be 99 cents for one purchase or a subscription fee to something like Spotify or Apple Music. What we spend on music and art is disproportionate to the value it brings us. And this can translate to all other pieces of art too. The cost to produce art and its value is very hard to quantify properly. Despite the costs, some art to some people would be priceless, and that same art to other people would be worthless. Well, I could go on and on about this, but I think you get the idea. Well, I hope you liked this video, and of course, if you did, please go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. But more importantly, show the artists you appreciate some love, because their hard work and effort is probably bringing a lot more value to your life than you realize. Thanks for watching.
I love the